When Drake first came out, I was like, he just gonna be here and going tomorrow. Cause I was like, I keep hearing, you know, the basic shit. Then I'm like, this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss. First of all, Pac ain't said to me though, from that moment on, I walked to the back of the plane, I grabbed me a knife and a fork, get my blanket, put my blanket over my eyes, 5.5 hours like this. As soon as we land, we step off the plane. I'm like, Pac, you going to Vegas to the fight? I said, that's the last time I seen my live.
Once All Eyes on Me came out, people come up, hey Snoop, where's Tupac? Could you get him to come over here and sign my autograph or take a picture with me? Or if they see me Dog Pound. And they'd be like, how do you feel? That's the best thing in the world. You get to hang around Tupac. Everything was Pac.
Oh my goodness. Snoop Dogg, the OG dog father himself, is catching some serious heat for allegedly turning his back on Kendrick Lamar and betraying the memory of Tupac. Can you believe it? Let's break this down because, honey, it's messier than a toddler eating spaghetti. So, remember when Drake had the audacity to use AI-generated voices of Tupac and Snoop in his diss track against Kendrick? The whole West Coast was up in arms, and rightfully so. I mean, Drake dissing Kendrick is one thing, but using AI to make it sound like West Coast legends are dissing him? That's a new low, even for Drizzy. Now you'd think Snoop, who used to be tight with Tupac, would have stepped in and told Drake to leave Pac out of this, right? Well, hold on to your wigs because Snoop was completely silent at first. Not only that, but he even promoted Drake's diss track with Tupac's AI voice on his Instagram, Say What Now? It was only after the entire culture rallied around Kendrick, declaring him the winner of the beef, that Snoop finally acknowledged Kendrick as the king of the West Coast. But guess what? Snoop still hasn't said a word about Drake disrespecting Tupac's legacy. The silence is deafening, folks. So what's the tea? Well, according to folks who were around back in the day, Snoop was totally jealous of Tupac. Apparently, it all started in early '96 when Pac completely overshadowed Snoop with All Eyes on Me. The girls were all about Pac, Suge Knight was clearly favoring him, and Pac was just this unstoppable force. That's when Snoop allegedly started to pull away. But it gets even juicier. Just a few days before his tragic death, Tupac reportedly decided to cut all ties with Snoop after he saw him hanging out with Biggie Smalls. Talk about drama. Now, let's talk about how the West Coast reacted to Drake's disrespect. Kendrick Lamar didn't waste any time firing back. At his pop-up show in Englewood back in June, Kendrick straight up called out Drake for disrespecting West Coast legends. Referencing Drake's purchase of Tupac's ring and the use of those AI voices, he said, "Oh, so y'all ain't going to let nobody disrespect the West Coast, huh? Oh, y'all ain't going to let nobody mock and imitate our legends, huh?" The crowd went wild and the whole West Coast naturally sided with Kendrick, but here's where it gets really interesting. Fans uncovered that Snoop has a close friendship with none other than Drake's dad, Dennis Graham. There's this post from Dennis's IG where he captioned a photo of him and Snoop saying, "Happy birthday, my forever brother. May you have the best birthday ever. Enjoy your day and smoke 17 for me. One love." Now, is this why Snoop kept quiet about Drake disrespecting Tupac's legacy? Well, according to multiple friends of Tupac, there might be more to the story. They claim Snoop was actually insanely jealous of Pac and secretly resented him for stealing the spotlight. Napoleon, a former rapper from Tupac's group Outlaws, recently appeared on The Art of Dialogue and called BS on Snoop, saying he never liked Tupac's iconic diss track, Hit 'Em Up. Napoleon said there's actual footage of Snoop from back in the day rapping the lyrics of Hit 'Em Up right along with Pac. But wait, it gets even messier. Len B, a member of the group OFB who used to be signed to Death Row Records, jumped in to confirm all this drama. He said Snoop was totally green with envy over the Tupac mania. Len B spilled that Snoop couldn't handle how Pac was taking over the scene and becoming the center of attention. He was jealous of all the love and adoration Tupac was getting from the fans, the industry, and even their own crew. And if you thought that was juicy, hold on to your hats because Suge Knight himself has entered the chat. On a recent episode of his explosive prison podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight, Suge threw major shade, hinting at Snoop's possible involvement in Pac's death. He straight up said Snoop had some serious explaining to do and that he wanted a real heart-to-heart with Snoop. It's almost like he's suggesting that Snoop might have betrayed Tupac. Suge didn't stop there. He brought up a story from Warren G, who recently dished on Drink Champs about the night Tupac got shot in '96. Warren revealed that he convinced Snoop to chill at his place in LA instead of heading to Las Vegas with Pac and Suge. But here's where it gets really messy. Warren G dropped a bombshell that caught Soog's attention. He said he and Snoop learned about Tupac getting shot through a live update on a Nextel radio or walkie-talkie while they were just hanging out at Warren's place in LA. Soog found that pretty shady and couldn't help but question why Snoop was even carrying a walkie-talkie that night. He said, "Only way you would have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, not having security detail, what you doing with the radio?" But Soog wasn't done stirring the pot. He took it up a notch, claiming that Snoop and former death row artist D. Dillinger actually collaborated on a track with Tupac's alleged killer, DeAndre Smith. And get this, Soog also said that Snoop supposedly warned Daz not to go to Vegas on the night of September 7th, 1996. Then Soog dropped another bomb, alleging that Snoop lied about getting kicked out of the hospital when he supposedly went to visit Tupac after the shooting. According to Soog, Snoop never even showed up at the hospital to see Pac, not once. And it's not just Soog saying this. Danny Boy also confirmed he never saw Snoop visiting Pac in the hospital. Now, some fans are saying we should cut Snoop a break about that Tupac situation back in the day. They argue that Snoop had just beaten a murder charge and wasn't looking to get tangled up in more legal drama. They think he probably wanted to stay out of any trouble after such a life-altering experience. Plus, let's be real, Tupac was constantly fueling the fire and stirring up the East Coast-West Coast beef. Every time Tupac got Snoop on camera together, you could practically see Snoop's face saying, "Oh no, here we go again." So maybe Snoop genuinely cared about Tupac, but Pac was heading in a direction Snoop couldn't follow. It's like when your bestie starts hanging out with the wrong crowd and you're like, "Nah, I'm good." Now, as for Drake, some fans are calling Snoop out for not speaking up about Drake disrespecting the West Coast and Tupac's legacy. But then again, some people will argue that Snoop's too old for all this drama and probably just doesn't care enough to get involved in today's rap beefs. One fan said, "Snoop is the definition of not picking sides. We all were friends, and now you hate one, don't mean I hate him. I'm here for the money, and I'm not fumbling my bag." And someone else added, "Snoop chose J. Cole's strategy. That's why he alive and thriving to this day." But here's the real tea. This whole situation raises some serious questions about loyalty in hip-hop. Is Snoop betraying his West Coast roots by staying silent on Drake's disrespect? Or is he just being smart and staying out of drama that doesn't directly involve him? And what about all these stories of Snoop being jealous of Tupac? If they're true, does it change how we view Snoop's legacy? Is he the laid-back, cool uncle of hip-hop we all thought he was? Or is there a more calculating side to the dog father? One thing's for sure, this saga is far from over. With Suge Knight dropping bombs from prison and old stories resurfacing, we're bound to see more twists and turns in this West Coast drama. So what do you think, tea lovers? Is Snoop really siding with Drake, or is he just staying neutral? Do you believe all these stories about Snoop being jealous of Tupac? And most importantly, how do you think this will affect Snoop's legacy in hip-hop? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your girl BiBiTea wants to hear what you think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because trust me, you don't want to miss a single drop of this piping hot hip-hop tea. Until next time, reminding you that in the world of rap, loyalty is everything, until it isn't. Stay spicy, my friends. Goodbye!